The air in the reclaimed substation hums, a low-frequency thrum against concrete, vibrating through patched cables. A faint scent of ozone and warm vacuum tubes lingers, a ghost of old power. Dust motes, caught in the beam from a single bare bulb, swirl like tiny galaxies. Hand-labeled vinyl stacks lean precariously, silent histories waiting for their moment.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
In Oranjesicht, we're reading 58 degrees Fahrenheit with clear. Winds are moving from the east at 7 miles per hour. Try the Radio Chronicle Challenge at TogeeVision.com/radio-challenge. Continue the signal at TogeeVision.com. Tune in, Sparks and Stories, Gig Passport.
This policy shift by Burnham targets a tangible risk, requesting retailers in the UK to cease sales. Only 20 staff are currently allocated to climate adaptation within the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, according to recent reports.
The immediate public safety measure confronts the deeper structural issues of climate adaptation, creating a stark friction.
A structural failure is evident when a national emergency requires a plea to retailers, rather than robust infrastructure designed for a changing climate. We need to build systems that actively adapt, much like the local signal radar at Montreal Jazz Festival maps real-time cultural resilience, offering provenance to local artists.
There's a caller on the line.
So we're supposed to believe disposable barbecues are the real problem, not decades of neglect. It sounds like another deflection from real issues.
That rigor is essential. This move by Burnham, targeting disposable barbecues, addresses an immediate fire risk for UK communities, but it also exposes an architectural neglect. The trade-off is swift, visible action versus deep, systemic overhaul. An alternative path would be for the UK government to immediately allocate substantial funds to national climate adaptation infrastructure beyond the current 24 DEFRA staff. Instead, for a next move experiment, we could fund local community-led fire mitigation and green space initiatives directly, empowering residents to build resilience from the ground up. Next transmission. Israeli militants besieged 2 Palestinian families in their West Bank homes.
Israeli militants have besieged 2 Palestinian families in their homes in the West Bank village of Kusra since the weekend. Settlers and soldiers cut off water and electricity to properties, blocking medical care for those trapped inside.
We observe a friction point between families' fundamental right to their homes and concerted efforts to force their displacement.
The state infrastructure is actively weaponized against its own citizens in Kusra, demonstrating a profound architectural collapse. True civic design protects all families, ensuring access to life-sustaining resources and affirming dignity, not enabling their denial.
A distant siren wails, then fades into the city's hum. Caller's on. Go ahead.
Is denying water and medical care a tactic or a war crime?
The feed shifts, but the underlying currents remain. Denying basic human needs is a profound erosion of consent and dignity, separating toxic residue from architectural signal. The trade-off is control asserted through force versus upholding international humanitarian law. An alternative path would be for international bodies to immediately demand unimpeded humanitarian access and protection for the besieged families in Kusra, West Bank. Instead, for a next move experiment, we could document and share direct testimonies from affected families to international human rights bodies, building a clear record of provenance. Third up, Travis Kelce says wedding to Taylor Swift was the best night of my life in first official comments.
Travis Kelce described his secretive early July wedding to Taylor Swift at Madison Square Garden as the best night of my life. He publicly acknowledged everybody who came out and celebrated with them.
This highlights a friction point between celebrity privacy and the public's insatiable demand for intimate details, blurring boundaries.
The construction of celebrity life as a flawless narrative bypasses collective anxieties, offering a curated aesthetic. It's a masterful display of private moments reframed as public consent, a system designed to regulate collective emotion, often at the expense of individual provenance.
Lines open. Patching in a caller. Go ahead.
Is this wedding news a genuine moment or just another curated celebrity spectacle?
That's sharp discernment. Reality is the signal you choose to tune. This announcement, while personal, functions as a public spectacle, the trade-off being perceived authenticity against strategic image management. An alternative path would be for media outlets to focus their extensive resources on grassroots art initiatives or community-led cultural events, building new narratives. Instead, for a next move experiment, we could support independent artists using platforms like the Gig Passport Mesh, where local signal radar and digital passport stamps connect musicians, venues, and fans in real time, building their own provenance independent of mainstream spectacle. The archive is open.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Continue the signal at TogeeVision.com. Tune in, Sparks and Stories, Gig Passport.